Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I thought I would talk about something that I have been dealing with for a little while now, and that is quite bad breakouts. Now if you've watched some of my previous videos or my what I ate Wednesday videos, things like that, I have mentioned it briefly, but I haven't really gone into detail or anything with it. So I thought I would sit down and do a video on my current kind of breakout situation and the changes I've made and what I'm doing to try and help tackle that. So I've never had particularly good skin. I've always had slightly blemish prone skin but never kind of acneic skin. So I used to get a lot of breakouts around my chin and forehead area. I knew that my skin was doing particularly bad if I had a couple of breakouts on my cheeks, and that's pretty much how my skin's been since I was a teenager. I'd have spells of it being really quite good and then spells of it being really breakout prone. So my skin did vary a lot, and it is kind of oily. It's an oily combination, so it was always kind of what I was going to get with my skin type. In the last few months I have had really bad breakouts for myself. Obviously I know that other people have breakouts and acne extremely badly, so I'm not kind of putting myself up with those guys. Just for me and my skin type and how my skin's always been, these are quite bad breakouts. So at the moment you can't tell, hopefully, very much, because I do obviously have makeup on because I'm doing a sit down video, but I will at some point during this video kind of include some pictures or video from later on today once I've taken my makeup off, just so you can kind of see how my skin is at the moment. Now the last kind of 2 to 3 days my skin has been the best it's been for months. So at the moment I'm kind of dealing more with the after effects of the kind of breakouts, but it's been, oh my gosh, it's been horrendous. So I've had to make quite a few changes. So with my skin normally, obviously my breakout areas are my chin and forehead. Suddenly a couple of months ago I woke up, I don't think I'd done anything differently, and I broke up with really bad breakouts in these two areas here. So on the top of my cheekbones, they weren't normal kind of breakouts, so they weren't little whiteheads or anything like that. They were really horrible under the skin cystic breakouts. As I say, I don't think I'd done anything differently. I hadn't changed any of my products. I haven't kind of been sleeping on dirty bedding. I hadn't been kind of touching my face more than normal. I literally just woke up one morning and was like, oh, my face is really sore. And when I went and looked in the mirror, it was it was just horrible. It all ballooned up on my cheeks. So from kind of that moment onwards, I started to do a bit of research. I'd obviously never had a breakout like this before. I'd never had kind of cystic spots or anything, and I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. So I did quite a bit of research online. So the blog that I went to the most was Caroline Hirons. Now she is just so good with skincare advice and things. I read her blog regularly anyway, but once I had these breakouts I kind of knew I needed to go on and do a bit of research as to kind of what I could use, what I should be doing, what I should be avoiding, all that kind of thing. So I got a lot of my kind of tips and things from there, and that's where I've been trying kind of things out from. So one of the first things that I did after reading Caroline's blog was I cut out all of my skincare that included kind of foaming. So it was mainly foaming cleansers. I had 2 or 3 I think that I was using, and obviously once reading the blog realised that they weren't kind of the best thing to be using on acne prone skin, anything like that. So I cut those out completely. I've got rid of them. I don't have any more in my house. I now only use, I use a cleansing balm to take my makeup off, which is what I've used kind of for a while, but I use it to take my makeup off now. I then use kind of either a milk cleanser or something like that, so it's quite nice and gentle. So I'm getting my makeup off with that balm, so it's still getting a little bit of moisture into my skin, and then I use kind of a gentle cleanser to cleanse my skin. So there's no foaming involved at all, and I do think that that has made a difference. So I've kind of continued with that, and I now know as a rule that I cannot use foam cleansers. The next thing that I did was I upped how much acid I was using and what types of acid, all that kind of thing. So I was using acid kind of every other night. I was using the Nip and Fab acid pads, which are these. So these are the Glycolic Fix night pads, the extreme ones. I was using these every other night just as my general routine to try and get that like exfoliation on my skin and help with the like small breakouts that I was getting. So these are what I was using every night. I now only use these 2-3 times a week maybe. I don't use them very often. So I do still use these as an overall facial acid, but I do only use this one a couple of times a week, and I will explain why. Looking into the acids and things that I needed to be using and what, you know, could work and things, one of the ones that came up a lot on kind of any blog, anything that I was looking at basically, was the ordinary salicylic acid 2%. So that's this little pot, which I did include in my favourites last week. I absolutely love this product. I use it as a topical acid. So what I'll do is I'll pop it on a cotton pad and I'll put it only on the areas that I know I get breakouts. So obviously 100% it always goes on this top area of my cheekbones to try and kind of, I don't know, kill whatever bacteria is in those kind of cystic spots, because obviously they're under the skin, and so try and kind of get into that area, kill everything that's underneath or whatever it is that they do. So to do that, but I also heard that it's quite good at healing kind of spots and blemishes and things that have already come to the surface and are kind of leaving anyway. So I do put them on these areas 100%. I then also put it on my T-zone, so I pop it on my forehead here, on the edges of my nose, and then onto my chin as well, because I do still get breakouts in those areas. They're just nowhere near as bad, especially as these areas here. And I use this most nights now. I'd say kind of 4 or 5 times a week I will use this on an evening on those areas. Once I pop it on, I then leave my skin for, well, I try and leave it for like an hour, but it depends how late I'm doing my skincare. So I'll leave it for an hour and then I'll go on with a spritz toner and then put my moisturiser and everything on. So yeah, this I believe has been a saviour for me. I do think that this is one of the reasons that these areas have gone down a lot, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to continue to use this even when I, you know, hopefully don't have these breakouts anymore. Hopefully they will go completely, but I will continue to have this in my cupboard and to use it because I do think it's really good for the skin. And then also with acids, I have started to use them on a morning. On the mornings where I have time. I do start work at 8:30 most days, so I do find that I don't have enough time to kind of let the acid sit on my skin for as long as I would like before I go to work. So on my days off and things, I have been using acid in the morning, and I've been using the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. So these are quite nice and gentle. They're good acids, I don't know. I pop them on in the morning, and I do think that this, as well as using them on an evening, has made a difference as well. So I have upped the acid game to twice a day. And then lastly with the acid section, I have been using the Alpha H Liquid Gold. Now what I have it in is this little kind of test bottle thing that my friend sent me. So it's not an Alpha H bottle, but it is what's inside. And I love it. I only use it once a week. I am still only in my early 20s. I'm only 23, so I don't feel like I need to be using this kind of several times a week. So I do only use it once a week. I use it on an evening, and I don't use any products once I've put this on my skin. I use it kind of like a toner, so it goes on after I've cleansed, and then nothing else goes on my skin. I leave it overnight, and I do think that using this as like an overnight treatment has helped as well. Not only for these areas, but for my overall facial complexion. I do think, you know, it's done the world of good to up everything and try out all these different things. In terms of the products I've been using after cleansing and acids, I haven't made too many changes. I don't think there's anything in the products that I was using that would have made me kind of break out more or made the areas worse. I still use quite gentle, sensitive, you know, moisturisers and things. The one thing that I have included is a new moisturiser, and it's the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I started to use this because I'd heard so many reviews about it being such like a gentle moisturiser, really good for sensitive skin. It cleared up loads of people's skins and things, so I just thought it was worth trying this to see if there was anything in it or that wasn't in it that is helping my skin. And at the minute it's not making me break out more. As I say, my skin's the best it's been for months this last kind of week, so I do think that this is helping. So because this, I believe, is helping, I have kind of started to think more about sensitive skin products, because obviously that's what this is. And yeah, I'm really enjoying using this. Hopefully it continues to work for my skin. In terms of makeup, it's a little bit awkward with makeup, because what I would like to do is have like 2 or 3 weeks no makeup at all, just be able to kind of do my skincare, leave my skin all day, do my evening skincare, and just kind of leave my skin so that it can like breathe without any makeup on. Now this year I haven't been on a summer holiday, which is normally that break of the year where my skin would get a good chunk of time where I wouldn't put any products on. I'd literally just do my skincare and then I wouldn't wear makeup. Because we haven't done that this year, I have just continued with my daily kind of regime of skincare, makeup, skincare. So it hasn't got as much of a breather. Obviously I've also been doing a lot more videos, and I don't want to be coming on videos and filming a full kind of however long video without makeup on. So I have been wearing makeup for that as well. So one of the things that I have been changing is on my long days where I'm wearing makeup, because some days I can work from 8:30 in the morning till like 7, 8 at night. So for the days that I'm doing that, I've started to wear more of the Bare Minerals makeup. So instead of using a liquid foundation, I have been using the Bare Minerals like powder foundation. So I've got the foundation and I've got the mineral veil as well. And I've mentioned these several times before in videos, but I do think that these are really good for days where I have to wear makeup the entire day. And it kind of, I don't know, I've heard good things about these, that they help your skin. I'm not too sure, but I do think that they've helped so that my skin doesn't feel as clogged and it can like breathe a little bit more again. But yeah, this is a change I've been making a couple of times a week. Rather than wearing regular kind of liquid foundation, I've been, you know, wearing these instead. A couple of other changes that I've made seem quite silly, and you'll be like, Hannah, you're supposed to do that anyway, but I believe, I don't know, it's made a difference. So once a week I now wash my pillowcases. I wash my bedding every fortnight, which some people will think is controversial anyway. But yeah, I wash my bedding every fortnight, but every single week I now wash the pillowcases that I sleep on, just to make sure that there isn't any bacteria on there, and they're nice and clean and nothing is kind of sitting on my skin whilst I'm asleep. So that's kind of a biggish thing that I've been doing. As well as that, I've also been changing the flannels that I wash my face with a lot more regularly. So I used to be quite slack with it, I'm not going to lie. I'd put a flannel in the bathroom and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to use it for a couple of washes, and it'd sit in there for like 4 or 5 days and I'd still be using it, and I don't know if that contributed to like the amount of crap on my face basically, but I have started to use those for 2 uses only, and then they go straight in the wash and I get a fresh one out, so that hopefully there isn't as much crap on the flannel basically, and hopefully that is helping a little bit as well. And then the other thing that I'm doing is washing my makeup brushes more regularly than I have ever done. So everybody who has makeup brushes and stuff knows that cleaning your brushes is such a pain, it's so boring, and you generally put it off for, well, as long as you can really. I know that I tried to kind of get into a routine with mine of washing them regularly, and then they ended up still being left for like a month or so. So what I do now is I wash them every 2 weeks. So basically the days that I wash my bedding are the days that I wash my makeup brushes. So it's a good old kind of all round clean day. And what I'll do is I'll wash all of the makeup brushes that are in the pot, and whether I've used them or not, just to make sure that no bacteria has like jumped between brushes. Don't know if that's possible, but still that is what I do. So I wash everything so that it's nice and clean every fortnight. I'd like to do it every week, but I know that's unrealistic and I won't do it, and I'll end up leaving it and they'll stay there for months. So every fortnight is realistic for me at the moment. I've been doing that, and hopefully that will help stop getting crap all over my face and help with the breakouts and things. So yeah, those are the little changes that I've been making to kind of try and tackle my breakout situation. They have helped. My breakouts haven't gone away completely. I'm now also dealing with a lot of pigmentation, so I'm getting a lot of pigmentation around my nose and also in the breakout areas. So that's kind of my next task, to kind of tackle that pigmentation, as well as still being able to tackle any like potential breakouts or anything. It's kind of got to the point now where I've done what I can on my own, I think, and I do want to see a dermatologist. So I am making an appointment with the doctor and asking if I can be referred to an NHS dermatologist, because I cannot afford to see one privately, unfortunately, just because we don't know what brought it on in the first place. So I kind of want to get to the bottom of that and see if there's anything that, you know, I'm allergic to or anything like that that's possibly making it worse, and to get a professional's opinion as well, to kind of see going forward what I should be doing. So that's kind of my next step with my skin, so to tackle the pigmentation and hopefully, fingers crossed, to see a dermatologist to kind of see what they would suggest going forward. And yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. It's worth me saying as well that this is what has been working for my personal skin. Everybody's skin is completely different. What I've been doing isn't going to fix, you know, someone else's skin, I don't think. Everyone needs to kind of try things themselves. So if you're watching this, obviously pick up some tips and things. I'll link Caroline's blog down below as well, because 100% that is where I've got a lot of my what I should be like trying and stuff from. So I will leave that link below. So do have a read, do try things, but obviously what I've been doing isn't going to fix everybody's skin. So please do bear that in mind. But obviously, you know, I hope that it helps if you are having these breakouts. If this is something that you are aware of or you've tackled yourself, please, please, please do let me know down in the comments below if there's anything you would suggest, whether it's kind of food-wise, thing-wise, so like with me washing my bedding, things like that. If there's things that you think I should be trying, and if there's products you think I should try to help with both breakouts and pigmentation, please do let me know, because I'm open to suggestions, and I'm in a place now at the moment where I want to be trying lots of different skincare and things, and I don't mind investing a little bit of money in it, because I've seen, you know, that investing the money in it is going to help my skin. So if you do have any recommendations or tips or anything, please do let me know. And that's everything for this week. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next week with another video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.